This blue planet is the Earth garden which supports our survival. Viewing from space, it is covered by oceans and land. Human beings produce offspring here for generations. Recently, several remotely sensed satellite images have caused a heated debate on the internet. Netizens compare images of the Earth's surface 10 years ago with those today, and find that the green area on Earth has decreased in most places. Only a green area has, by contrast, increased. This place is China. Within more than a decade, the vegetation area in China has increased substantially, proving the improvement of green ecological system. The sky is bluer, the land is greener, and the water is clearer. What kind of force and what kind of people have brought such vast changes to this land's ecology? In northern Hebei province, China, there is a forest area of more than 1.4 million mu, where rivers and lakes crisscross, forests and meadow overlap. It is called Saihanba, a former royal hunting ground for hundreds of years. Saihanba, located in the cold temperate regions, once had picturesque scenery with beautiful water and meadows as today. Due to severe deforestation, by 1956, the primeval forest has ceased to exist. Water loss, soil erosion, and desertification turned it into a barren land stripped of trees with sky full of white sand. It became one of the hardest hit places by sandstorms in the northern hemisphere. Facing the threat of the ecological imbalance, local people in Saihanba started afforestation. They lived in the semi-underground sheds, built of a few logs and little grass on the slopes. If thirsty, we drank water from the ditch and river. If hungry, we ate unprocessed naked oats noodles. In daytime, we were busy with afforestation work. At night, we slept in grass hut. Rain and snow would visit us. Birds and beasts bothered as we slept. Strong wind blew a gust of sand, and frost rimmed our grills. Efforts of more than 140 graduates from high schools and colleges and 2,000 forest workers in afforestation brought ultimate changes to Saihanba.
大家把这一片树林都栽起来了，我们得保护好这片树林。每天在这个树林里边都得走20多公里，看到这些树长得茂盛、长得好，我挺开心的。
Today, Saihanba not only creates a green miracle by transforming a desert to a forest, but also restores the original ecosystem of the land. In Nairobi, capital of Kenya, 2017, Saihanba Afforestation Community received the United Nations' highest environmental honor, the Champions of the Earth Award. Distancing some 300 kilometers from Saihanba, Beijing, the capital of China, is an international metropolitan with a population of 21.53 million. On 10th January 2019, Beijing's municipal government moved to Tongzhou district, which became the subcenter of Beijing. It is a northern starting point of the Grand Canal, the world's oldest, longest, and largest man-made waterway. Acting as a construction template for newly developed urban zones in Beijing, Tongzhou, from the very beginning, has integrated human with nature in its urban design, occupying an area of 11.2 square kilometers. The Central Green Forest Park is a landmark. Together with Tongzhou Grand Canal Forest Park, these serve as a hub of Tongzhou's green ecosystem, integrating modern city with green ecology. It reinterprets people's impression on the monotonous city lives.
这个公园啊，原来这一片是东方化工厂啊，从东方化工厂拆迁完之后，就着手建这个公园啊，在这儿栽了竹松、国槐、侧柏、红莲木，还有玉兰。
Today, there are 287 urban green parks in Beijing. They have changed Beijing's landscape ecosystem, bringing the city a breath of fresh air. Located some 1,900 kilometers away from Beijing, Shenzhen was once a small fishing village under the administration of Dongren County in Guangdong Province 40 years ago. Nowadays, it has become a prominent high-technology research, development, and manufacturing center in the world. It is a newly developed city populated with over 13 million people. However, modern industrialization and urban civilization have not made the people here neglect the treasure of a green ecology. At the border with Hong Kong, Shenzhen River and the estuary of Pearl River form a tideland area of mangrove forest. It is also a special ecological region serving as a transition from Chinese mainland to the South China Sea. This border river region, since the early establishment of Shenzhen in the 1980s, has been administered as the Mangrove Nature and Ecological Reserve, with an area of 368 hectares. The reserve accommodates 22 species of mangroves, 55 species of other plants, 189 species of birds, and different types of shellfish, algae, fish, and other marine biological resources. Song Changhua is a forest ranger of the management station in the reserve. Born and raised in Sichuan, in 2002, he arrived in Shenzhen with the intention of earning enough money and returning home one day. Once, he worked over a month on breaking in a mangrove forest. Employers decided to keep him because of his reliability and perseverance.
我在红树林就是负责巡逻管护嘛，负责整块红树林的那个管护巡逻，还有湖南管理站的日常生活啊那些啊。
Song Changhua starts his work before sunrise every day. He records the data of high tides and low tides at the mouth of Pearl River, patrols for illegal fishing and damaging activities to mangroves, and enters the waist deep tideland to clear fishing cages, nets, and other rubbish, and keep the tideland clean. At several significant inspection points, he also needs to inspect and record the growing status of the mangrove forest. In case of pathological changes or any abnormality caused by extreme weather, he needs to report to scientists in the reserve immediately.
每年就是采集那些树种嘛，有些自己有个苗场，有些红树林修复啊，有些叫那些滩涂，有些时候还再种一点把它可以宽一点嘛，发展也宽一点，变起来。
Shenzhen Mangrove Nature Reserve has already been an icon of vibrancy in the young city of Shenzhen. Surrounded by towering buildings, birds and fish can still live in such primeval conditions without human disturbance. The way nature and human beings coexist sometimes requires intentional efforts or managing by non-interference. Zhushao Ancient Town is located in Tongren City, Guizhou Province. It was once the site of Wanshan Mercury Mine, China's largest mercury mine. Cinnabar mining has started since Qing and Han dynasties. Mercury ore was later discovered. Born out of mining, this ancient town has thrived for more than 2,000 years. Once upon a time, people here worked days and nights. Busy workers and machines could be seen everywhere. Flames and lights in the mining area shone through the smoky haze within tens of kilometers around the ancient town. At the beginning of this century, with the depletion of mercury resources, The Wanshan mine was abandoned and the environmental pollution was heavy. The mine, along with Zhoushan ancient town, was in decline. Yang Mei was an old miner at Wanshan. His ancestors have lived in Zhoushan ancient town for centuries. With more than 30 years of his mining career, he is aware that mining pollution brings harm to the environment as well as people's health. In 2015, rehabilitation of mine geological environment and ecological restoration were carried out in Zhoushan. Tongren city decided to completely upgrade and revamp the ancient town, reorienting from selling resources to selling ecology, green, and tourism. Yang Mei, who was familiar with mines, has become a contributor to the restoration of ecosystem. After retirement, he took the job of a voluntary patroller for environmental protection in the ancient town. The contaminated mining area has changed from muddy place full of dust particles to a place with birds singing, flowers blooming, and with green water and mountains in the clear mist. The transformation of the ecological environment has restored Zhoushan ancient town's confidence originated more than 2,000 years ago. Similar to Wanshan Mercury Mine, Koktoke is a famous mining area situated in Altai Prefecture, Xinjiang, China. It is more than 2,700 kilometers away from Zhoushan ancient town. Lately, a song entitled Sheep Herder in Koktoke has gone viral on the internet. It has hit over 1 billion clicks on both music and video websites. Koktoke is the best place to study geology and also the origin of several rare minerals. Creeping ores, wanted by modern industries, and precious sapphire ores are mined here. Heart of Ocean, the love token in the movie Titanic, is made of sapphire. Shaped like a beautiful ribbon, Koktoke is 52 kilometers long and 0.9 kilometers wide. To protect the natural ecosystem here, the local government shut down the mines and their operation area. The old industrial and mining area has now turned into a pasture with blooming flowers and animals scattered around. Traveling 3,100 kilometers southeastwards from Koktoke, we arrive at Yu Village in Anji County, Zhejiang Province, China. The village is ringed on three sides by mountains, with a stream passing through its center. The tranquil environment and mountain ranges covered with bamboos and trees conceal its original appearance. As a mineral-rich area, it once gained its wealth from the resources of yellow sandstone, quartzstone, and granite. However, the pollution caused by dust particles and slag was a headache to the locals.
当年啊，这个矿山石块啊，一炸的时候啊，就这个大大小小的石块啊，飞到山上到处都是。再一个呢，毛笋呢可以打得横七竖八的，所以说再一个呢，每天这个石炮呢从早上5、6点钟开始啊，一直持续到晚上的6、7点钟，所以说这个炮声隆隆啊，在那个风尘啊也比较大。
At the end of the last century, the majority of 280 households in the village had lived by mining. The annual income of the whole village added up to more than 4 million Chinese yuan. It was a very rich village at that time. Mines were the lifeblood of all villagers here. However, Yu village was plagued by coal dust throughout the year. Tree leaves were thickly coated with dust. Pan Qingling had worked at mines since he was young. At that time, his greatest wish was to wear a white shirt. Since in Yu village, once exposed to the exterior for 10 minutes, a white shirt would turn to a green dust shirt. the long-lasting problem prompts people's reflection. Should we live on mines that pollute the environment, or live on a green ecological one? This was a choice the inhabitants in Yu Village had to make.
矿山关掉以后，大家没什么工作，周围的景区的增加呢，一些城里面人啊，到这边来吃农家饭、住农家屋的人呢，也越来越多。所以说我们在村委会的引导下呢，我们开始尝试性开办农家乐。
To protect the ecological environment, Qingling created the mining job in 2005. With 300 types of bamboos, the famous local white tea and other ecological resources, he launched his business of a farm resort. Unexpectedly, the beautiful environment gained considerable popularity among visitors. Miners and villagers near and far came to the farmyard of Pan to enjoy the cuisine and the beautiful landscape.
现在我们这边的生态环境啊，包括喝的水啊、呼吸的空气啊、山上地质啊，都非常的好。所以说现在空气质量跟以前相比啊，那完全是一个天壤之别。
Today, with an annual income of more than 1 million Chinese yuan, Qingling is leading Yu villagers on the path towards prosperity by promoting environmental protection. In 2019, the total income of Yu village was close to 280 million yuan, scoring the transformation from selling ore to selling green ecology. Lucid waters and lush mountains are invaluable assets. It's the real estate of Yu villagers. Qingling Mountains is commonly known as a dragon vein in China's history and culture. Together with Huaihe River, it is a geographical landmark which divides the north and south of China and separates the subtropics and warm temperate climate zones. The experimental farm in Luoguantai, Shanxi Province, is situated in Zhouji County at the northern slope of Qingling Mountains. With an area of 37,163 hectares and an altitude difference of nearly 2,500 meters, it accommodates a large diversity of plant species. Native trees, planted trees, and bamboo groves all together form a magnificent view of the farm. Zhao Liang is a forest ranger of Luoguantai Experimental Farm. At the age of 38, he has already worked in Luoguantai for nearly 20 years. People there call him Big Eyes watching out for fire. The period of autumn and winter is a key season for firefighting every year. Zhao and his colleagues walked more than 20 kilometers in the mountains every day to inspect the fire prevention measures and to promote the knowledge of forest fire prevention. After over a decade, he has become the navigator of the farm, knowing every single road and household in the farm by heart. Favorable climates and geographic conditions, along with the efforts of researchers, allow the ecosystem of Luoguantai Experimental Farm to grow constantly. The launch of different scientific research projects on forestry demonstrates Qingling's geographic and climate advantages and affirms the contribution of these ecological workers. In February 2019, NASA, who published the remotely sensed satellite images, issued a research report once again. The Earth is greener compared to 20 years ago. There's a 5% increase in green area globally, a quarter of which comes from China. The direct improvement of human activities is a key motivation of turning the Earth greener.